Hey everyone, this is Travel Tree, your friendly immigration and travel guide. Today, I've got exciting news. IRCC is expected to unveil a bigger, bolder Canada immigration levels plan this November. Whether you're planning your move now or in a few years, this update could change your entire strategy. Stay tuned, this could be your moment. 1. Why November matters. What is IRCC's immigration levels plan? Every November, Canada's IRCC, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, introduces its Immigration Levels Plan, a roadmap that outlines how many newcomers, both permanent and temporary, the country will welcome over the next 3 years. This isn't just another government document. It shapes Canada's economic growth, labour market needs, regional development, and population trends. The upcoming 2026 to 2028 plan is one of the most closely watched announcements in years. Many expect it to raise immigration targets to meet labor shortages, address demographic challenges like an aging population, and manage growth more sustainably. IRCC is under increasing pressure to attract skilled workers and essential talent, manage and limit temporary resident numbers, support long-term regional and economic development. 2. What IRPA requires, the law behind the numbers. The legal framework behind these decisions comes from the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, IRPA. Under this law, the Immigration Minister must present an annual plan to Parliament by November 1, or shortly after. The plan includes confirmed targets for the coming year, and projections for the 2 years after. The plan should reflect Canada's priorities, including economic development, family reunification, humanitarian support, and capacity to integrate newcomers. More recently, the plan also includes targets for temporary residents, such as international students and foreign workers, marking a shift toward a comprehensive migration strategy. 3. What the 2025 to 2027 plan teaches us about IRCC's direction. To understand where we're going, let's briefly revisit the 2025 to 2027 Immigration Levels Plan. It revealed several key trends. Permanent residence targets were set at 395,000 in 2025, 380,000 in 2026, 365,000 in 2027. For the first time ever, IRCC introduced targets for temporary residents, such as 673,650 in 2025, 516,600 in 2026, 543,600 in 2027. In Canada Priority, over 40% of the 2025 permanent residency spots were reserved for individuals already living in Canada on a work or study permit. Category breakdown: 62% for the economic class, 24% for family reunification, 15% for refugees and humanitarian cases. Francophone immigration outside Quebec was also a key focus, with increased targets year by year. There was a clear effort to reduce temporary resident inflow, including caps on study permits, changes to post-graduation work permits, PGWPs, tighter rules for spousal open work permits, restrictions on low-wage labor pathways. These changes reflect Canada's shift toward controlled, strategic immigration growth, while still meeting labor and social needs. 4. What to expect in November. Predictions for 2026 to 2028. While the official plan is still under wraps, here's what could be included based on current trends. Slight increase in permanent resident targets. Canada may slightly raise PR targets again, especially if labor shortages worsen. However, any increases will be measured to match the country's settlement and housing capacities. Stronger emphasis on economic and regional needs. Expect a greater focus on immigration programs that support health care and aged care, skilled trades, clean tech and green energy, regional and remote communities. More seats for in-Canada candidates. If you're already in Canada, as a student or worker, your chances of becoming a PR may improve. This In Canada focus category is likely to grow even stronger. Tighter controls on temporary residents. IRCC is expected to continue limiting the number of new temporary residents by adjusting study permit approvals, post-graduation work permit rules, spousal open work permits, low-wage worker stream access. The overall goal? Keep temporary resident numbers under 5% of the total population. Francophone and minority inclusion. IRCC is likely to expand efforts to attract French-speaking newcomers outside of Quebec, and offer more support to underrepresented groups, especially in remote or indigenous areas. Greater flexibility in target ranges. Rather than firm numbers, future plans may present target ranges, like 370,000 to 410,000, to give the government room to adapt to economic or global changes. 5. How these changes could impact your immigration journey. Depending on your situation, here's what you need to know. If you're already in Canada, student or worker, this could be your best opportunity yet. Build strong work experience, stay legally compliant, and keep an eye on express entry and provincial nominee draws. If you're a student abroad, be more strategic. Choose institutions and programs aligned with labor market needs and preferred provinces. Study permit caps and stricter PGWP rules may limit options. If you're a skilled worker abroad, success will depend on your profession, credentials, language skills, and fit with Canadian labor needs. Immigration will become more selective, so optimize your express entry profile. If you're applying through family or humanitarian routes, these categories will continue but could become more competitive. Ensure all eligibility, financial, and documentation criteria are met to strengthen your application. If you're tracking policy trends, flexibility is key. IRCC may tweak the plan throughout the year, so act early, stay informed, and plan for multiple pathways. 6. Tips to build your best immigration strategy. Here's how you can prepare. Stay informed, follow IRCC's official announcements in late October and November. Improve your profile, higher language scores, Canadian work experience, and recognized education can make a big difference. Maintain legal status, keep your study or work permits valid and up to date. Be strategic with education, choose programs that align with high-demand sectors, health, tech, skilled trades, French language. Plan financially, Canada wants immigrants to succeed, housing, savings, and credential recognition are key. Stay flexible, keep backup options open, consider provincial nominee programs, Atlantic immigration, and regional streams. 7. Sample structure of the new immigration levels plan, 2026 to 2028. Here's a sample structure of what Canada's new immigration levels plan for 2026 to 2028 might look like. These are estimated projections based on current patterns and policy discussions, and while not official yet, they give us a solid idea of where things are headed. First up, permanent residents. In 2026, Canada is expected to welcome somewhere between 380,000 to 400,000 new permanent residents. For 2027 and 2028, that number may rise or fall within a flexible range, possibly going from 370,000 to 410,000, depending on national capacity and economic needs. Now, when we break that down by immigration class. 1. The economic class, which includes skilled workers and professionals, will likely make up about 60% of the total intake in 2026, and could increase slightly to 60 to 65% in 2027 and 2028. This shows Canada's continued focus on attracting talent that contributes directly to the economy. 2. Family reunification is expected to stay steady, somewhere around 22 to 24%, and may see a slight reduction in the following years as the government balances priorities. 3. Humanitarian and refugee admissions will remain consistent too, projected at 12 to 15%, possibly with minor adjustments based on global events and resettlement needs. Next, a growing focus, Francophone immigration outside Quebec. In 2026, Canada could aim for at least 9.5% of total immigration from French-speaking applicants, and that could grow to 10% or more by 2027 and 2028. Now, on to temporary resident arrivals. This includes international students, temporary foreign workers, and visitors. Canada is aiming to bring that number under control. So, we're looking at about 500,000 to 550,000 arrivals in 2026, with either flat or slightly reduced numbers in the following years. This ties into the government's plan to reduce the temporary resident population to around 5% of the overall population. And finally, one of the most important categories for many of you watching, the in-Canada priority allocation. This refers to how many permanent residency spots are reserved for those already living in Canada, like students and workers. That's expected to be at least 40% in 2026, and it's likely to increase even more in the coming years. So, if you're already here, your odds may be getting better. Again, just a reminder, these are not final numbers but estimates based on current trends and what we know from recent policies. But they offer a great glimpse into how IRCC is shaping the future of Canadian immigration. 8. Final thoughts. Canada's upcoming 2026 to 2028 immigration levels plan is more than just numbers, it's a bold recalibration of how immigration supports the country's future. From managing skilled labor shortages to reducing pressure on services and housing, this plan will reshape immigration pathways for years to come. If you're planning to immigrate, now is the time to prepare your documents. Stay informed. Choose the right path. Act early. This isn't just another immigration update, it's a critical opportunity to align with Canada's new priorities. I'm Travel Tree, and I'll be guiding you through every update, every change, and every tip to boost your chances. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're first to know when the November announcement is made. See you in the next video.